We have close to about 50 delegates already. I think we'll probably just get started, and the others will join as we move along. So, good evening, distinguished members of the All Progressives Congress. My name is Ade Omole. I'm the APC UK leader and your host and moderator for this event tonight. On behalf of the executives and UK members, I'd like to welcome you to this first of its kind virtual conference between leaders in Nigeria in the person of the national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, and our able cerebral publicity secretary, Malam Lanre Issa Onilu. I'm also glad to inform you that the leaders have already joined already. And I would just like to thank the leaders for joining. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for making time to be part of this conference. I'm also pleased to inform all members that we also have members of other diaspora groups on this platform. We've got the BOT chairman from the United States of America, George Dele Alade is on the platform. We have the chairman from the APC chairman for South Africa, Honorable Bola Babarinde is also on this platform. We have we also have the chairman for the Benin Republic. The chairman is also on this platform. We welcome everyone to this first of its kind event. To get started, if I may seek the permission of the special guests and also the members that have joined already, would like to, as we're all aware, COVID-19 pandemic is presently ravaging the world. We're doing our best to curb this pandemic in our home country, Nigeria, and also the countries that we are resident in at this present time. With the permission of the special guest of honor and also the members, I would like to seek a 1-minute silence in respect of the loved ones that we have lost, both home and abroad, and especially we lost the Chief of Staff to the President, Malam Abba Kyari, just a few days ago. So in respect of, to respect the loved ones that we've lost, can we please have a 1-minute silence before we get started? Thank you so much. May the souls of the departed rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. I would like to kickstart the session by welcoming the, sorry, I'll just admit a few more people. I would like to start the session by welcoming our special guest. I would like to start by welcoming the chairman, the national chairman, His Excellency, courageous, brave, one and only, able, still standing, always standing, His Excellency Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. I believe he connected at some point, probably is actually disconnected again. I'd also like to welcome to the platform our Cerebral Publicity Secretary, the National Publicity Secretary, because we also have our APC UK Publicity Secretary on the platform. But I'd like to welcome the National Publicity Secretary, Malam Lanre Issa Onilu, to the platform. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. You're now off mute, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. We can hear you, sir. Yes, sir. We
Okay,
can hear
my
you now,
pleasure
sir.
being here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I would like to kickstart the event by firing the first question. And this actually goes to the National Publicity Secretary while we're waiting for the chairman to reconnect. Most of the questions, we did receive a few questions before this event. Most of the questions from members, most of them were about what the national party, as in the party in Nigeria, is doing to assist with the COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria. maybe you want to give us a line or two, sir, on what the party is doing as a party to assist the APC-led government in Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Right from when this started, even before it got to Nigeria, as a party, as a governing party, we've mobilized and linked up with the respective people in government, in our government, to rub minds with them and get ready, because we all knew it was just a matter of time that it was going to get to us. And so we started preparation ahead of time. If you recall, we actually shut the party secretariat about a week, even before the shutdown of the airport, and other actions followed that. So we were prepared. And since then and up until now, we've been engaging and still engaging with the key actors in the Federal Ministry of Health, the Presidential Task Force, the NCDC. We're engaging with them, passing across whatever views that we have. We also continue to meet on a daily basis on our platform. That is the NWC. We relate, and when we hear anything or think of any new ideas, we pass it on to the relevant authorities. And we also mobilized so that our governors in respective states could also come on board, and so that we can have a united front to face this unseen enemy. So as I speak to you, we are very active. We are continuing to play our roles, and behind the scene, though, that is what is expected, but we are doing a lot. We also produced a video so that we also put our voices and faces on this. And that was widely circulated and played on some TV stations as a kind of our support to also mobilize our party members, especially. We are all supposed to be ambassadors of the government, of the party, spreading the message to every nook and cranny of the country. Because what is important now is to give adequate information. People need information to be able to do the right thing, and for us to be able to get this behind us as soon as possible. Thank you.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Thank you so much for that, sir. We actually saw that video, which was to assist the NCDC in Nigeria with the directive of actually staying safe and also keeping safe and also staying at home. We also did a similar video, which was also widely circulated at that point when we actually saw that, just to complement what you did in Nigeria. And also on our part, the APC UK chapter, I believe we were the first to start with the donation of PPE kit. But we did that through the commission headed by Honorable Abike Dabiri. Again, it's a way of support, to actually show support, and the fact, and to also say that we do sympathize, and we can also support from here. I have a question. There's a question, someone has raised his hand. It's from the General Secretary, Comrade Boyo. He's General Secretary here in the UK. Mr. Boyo, you have the floor, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. And the time that our able chairman and our noble public secretary, and I'm happy that by God's grace, this COVID-19 issue will pass us by.
Thank you.
Let me get straight to the point, sir. My question is for the honorable chairman, comrade. I haven't followed you, sir, for quite some time now, over the years, and I do share your giant stride in all your endeavor, and knowing you very well, that you are a man of honor and integrity. I just want to quickly ask that, considering the effort of the diaspora in the APC election from 2014 to 2019, now I just want to know, what plan do you have for members in diaspora? How do you want to engage them? Because we haven't seen people from diaspora being engaged in national workings in Nigeria. I mean, in terms of giving the effort we put in and reward that we deserve in terms of that. I just want to know, what's your plan for the diasporans, especially the APC members here in UK and all over the world? What do you have planned for? Because we know that we put a lot of effort in making the PMB, because I remember very well when we were doing the Jonathan era, it was we from this UK that busted all effort of PDP in making sure that PMB were on board in Chatham House in London then. So I just want to know that what do you have plans for that?
Okay, sir.
Diaspora in general. What is the diaspora members?
Thank you so much for that, sir. The chairman is yet to reconnect, but I believe Mr. Malam Lanre Odele will probably have a comment or two on that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, I would rather reserve that for the chairman, if you permit me.
All right, sir. It's okay, sir. We also have a comment from our deputy leader in the United Kingdom, Barrister Adebola. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And, I have to say again, welcome to our police secretary, Malam Bonero. You're welcome to this wondrous meeting. I think this is a very unique opportunity, for us in diaspora and for you at the national level to judge over issues pertaining to Nigeria and the governance of our people. I'm just my own point would be this: that is there any possibility of us making this a regular occurrence, whereby we'll be able to invite you guys online, and we'll be able to rub minds together, especially on issues that are burden on our people.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Malamunilu, that's for you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Thank you, my brother. I think that's the least we can do for ourselves. You people in the diaspora, you have done so much that is not something that we can finish relating here on this platform. You've done so much for your country. You've done so much for the party and for the government. Your activities in the diaspora is not something that we can ignore. And having the opportunity to engage with you can only improve us here at home and also put you in a very good picture of whatever is going on. So you also can make input into what we are doing. And as the National Publicity Secretary, I can assure you that I would provide the opportunity as much as possible to get any of our national official that is necessary or relevant to whatever issue we want to discuss. We can only take advantage of technology to better things for ourselves. I would give you, for instance, in the last 10 days or thereabouts, we've had a number of engagements on this same platform. For instance, with the Republican Institute, US, I put a number of our NWC members relevant to their various issues. And then we had a very good engagement. How much more members, you people that are members of our party and who have committed so much to what we have achieved today. So you can be sure, to the best of my of whatever opportunity I have, you can be sure I will always be ready, and I also mobilize any member of NWC that you require to be part of it.
Thank you, sir. That's a very good one. We actually really appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much for that confirmation again that yes, we are members that are actually recognized. Yes, we are members that are doing a lot to support the party and also the nation, and that we're also recognized as members that will be partners in development. We're quite happy about that. Sorry that I'm going to digress we're actually going to be moving from the United Kingdom to South Africa. Apologies to members of the UK. We have the chairman of the APC in South Africa, Honorable Bola Babanride. You have the floor, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Bola Babanride from South Africa. Greetings to our able National Secretary and our chairman and all participants. Because of the time, I want to go straight to our question. You know, we were involved in the program organized by UK and other chapters regarding the voting in diaspora. We are very concerned about the quietness of our party regarding the possibility of us voting in 2023. We are even suggesting that if it may be an Herculean task for INEC to conduct the diaspora voting holistically, we are suggesting that maybe there could be a sort of pilot project that maybe we pick one country in Africa, which we believe will be South Africa. Maybe you pick one country in Europe, probably UK, and one in South America, and I'm sure it's going to be United States of America, and maybe another country. At least we will know that we have started this voting in diaspora. That some believe that it's an equivalent task that is not possible. And by doing this, it's going to be an additional achievement to our president, because people thought June 12th could not be realized, and he did it, and it's a plus to him and to the party. So we want to know whether there's possibility of making sure that 2023 is a reality for us to vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Honorable Bola Babanride from South Africa. I can quickly add to that before, again, we pass that to Malam Lanre Onilu. There's an ongoing agitation for that to ensure that we have diaspora voting by 2023. We as a chapter, we met with the president at the time, and we also met with NIDCOM, and we were told that we had to go to the National Assembly to see what can be done in actually amending the law as we speak. So we put together a forum, a group. That council, I'm happy to say that as of today, we've been able to put a bill together, and that bill has actually passed first reading courtesy of APC UK. That's, again, we felt that's another thing we could do to actually assist the national party and also Nigerians, and also represent Nigerians in the diaspora. Again, I will yield the floor to Malam Lanre Onilu to add to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think that is this is a straightforward issue as far as I'm concerned. The issue of the diaspora voting, it's something that I will count along as part of indices of development is something that we should all be proud of that we are able to achieve. And as a party, I'm very sure APC is not averse to that. The statement that you should go to the National Assembly is just for all of us to get ready when the Electoral Act is being reviewed. So we could also make that presentation together as a unit before the people at the National Assembly. And we also, we should be mindful of the fact that these are our members as well, like the majority in those houses. And so we should not have any problem with that. The issue of logistics, the issue of whether we have the technology, knowing that we are still battling to have a free flow, unhindered electoral process within the country. But I think these are surmountable issues. And if we start early enough, we can achieve it. And then it will be a good thing for us after 8 years to be able to achieve that. So I'm sure we will all work together when the time comes. And I'm glad to hear that there's already a bill. We should work together, not just the diaspora going to the National Assembly. We should go as a APC. Just get our members along and say this is what the party wants. And I think we can work together on that. And I think the party is also very positive towards that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, sir. And moving on quite quickly, from South Africa, we're flying to the United States before coming back to the UK. We have the BOT chairman, USA, George Dele Alade, who's also on the call. He has a comment or two. George Dele Alade, you have the floor, sir. Is George Dele Alade there? Okay. Maybe he got disconnected. We also have, we'll be going next to, from the United States, we're flying again to Canada. We also have the BOT chairman for the APC Canada, Captain Ajimoto Kon. You have the floor, sir. Thank you. Captain Ajimoto Kon, are you there? Are you on mute? Okay, because of time, we're flying back to the UK. We have Councillor Shade Eti, who is also one of our pillars here in the United Kingdom. She's been a party member for several years, even before the APC. She's always been progressive. She's also one of the Diaspora champions, actually championing the cause of Nigeria in the United Kingdom. Councillor Shadeti, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mole. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, loud and clear.
So we can.
Good evening, and Ramadan Karim to everyone that is observing this, Muslims in our midst.
Thank you.
I'll go quickly to to my question. I have 3 questions. I forwarded it, but I just want to touch on 1.5 question. I would love to know what the government would like to do, because looking at the current situation, it has definitely revealed the decay in our system in terms of our infrastructure. And I want to know what lessons have been learned from this experience moving forward, and if the governments actually feel compelled to do things differently going forward. And the second one, quickly, is, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Just one question, sorry. One question, ma'am, sorry. Because of time, we have so many people.
Fine. That's fine, thank you.
Thank you. I think we'll take the second question before we go back to Malam Larry Odele. We have we're flying back to the US. The BOT chairman, United States, George Dele Alade, is now online. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Omole. Can you hear me now? Because I was speaking the last time. It's like maybe I was
loud and clear, sir. We can all hear you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Larry Isaolilu, for joining this conference. I don't really have any question for you other than to thank you for what you are doing for APC and to thank our diaspora members for what they have been doing for years for APC, even before APC, which have not been acknowledged or have not been compensated. And I hope this type of conference will continue, and members across the diaspora will be given the opportunity to contribute to the not only for our party but also for the country. We have expertise all over the diaspora who I believe can be of great use to the government of President Buhari and to our party. So as the meeting progresses, I hope we'll have more questions for you. And I have from USA, Mr. Agumbiade, who is also on the conference. So maybe he might have anything to say. Thank you, Mr. Mole.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for that. We have before we go back again, let's take one more question. It's from our publicity secretary. So this question is from publicity secretary from the UK publicity secretary to the national publicity secretary. Thank you so much. Mr. Jacob Ogusha, you have the floor, sir. Or if you have a comment.
Yeah. So I just thought, my name is Jacob Ogusha. I'm a public secretary for the APC in the UK. So I want to first appreciate your effort and your time for joining us, sir. I just want to ask a question. I want to ask, what are the plans to get ourselves integrated into the party back home more than what we are now? We are seeing, is there any situation where after this meeting we can be having meeting with the probably with the ministers, just to know what they are doing and how we can be of help to them as well? Is there any way you can with our leader, President Diomole, joining you together to facilitate this kind of a meeting henceforth?
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Jacob Ogusha. I will go back to Malam Lanre Onilu. Sir, you have the floor, sir. 3 questions in one, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Malam, you're off mute now, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. We can hear you now, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now, sir.
Okay. I said I missed out on the question from our sister in the UK. I was locked out. And then I had part of what our brother, Mr. Alade in the US, I had part of what he said. So I would like to ask a question, please, if you don't mind. If you can just let me have. I think I was talking about infrastructure or something like that before I was locked out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, go on, ma'am. Go on, ma'am.
Okay. The question I asked, I said, this COVID-19 has shown the decay in our infrastructure, especially health, education, and the level of poverty. And the question is, what lessons have we learned from this experience moving forward? Does the government feel compelled to do things differently going forward, sir? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. If you permit me, I will just start with that. I think beyond lessons, the situation has forced certain things on us that we just cannot pretend. For instance, we have to also be proud of ourselves. If the kind of policies that have been put in place in the last 5 years in terms of looking inward have not been put in place, we would have been in deeper trouble than we have now. Most of what we rely on now are things that are locally produced. And we are able to meet up with food supply all across the country, from the government effort, from individual making effort, from state government making effort to provide palliative. All these are sourced from locally produced foods. If we didn't take that action, I wonder where we're going to get all this from. So we should see the benefit of some of the decisions that we have taken. But we should also learn the lesson, as you have rightly said, the lesson of what more we can do. For instance, no country in the world, including the most advanced country, none of all the over 200 countries that we have, has adequate infrastructure to confront what we are facing. But it's not an excuse whatsoever. What we have learned now is that we just have to be ready. We must not wait again for when there will be an issue and then we start scampering about. The party issued a statement about 2 weeks ago on this matter, where we said that if only in the last 20 years of democracy, we have been continuing to do the right thing, then we are not going to be in this situation that we have found ourselves. And we said in our statement that as the governing party, there will be no excuse for us in future, God forbid, if anything comes up similar to this, and we are still saying the same thing, that we don't have infrastructure. Now that it has happened, we must make sure we do whatever is right, so that whatever was not done in the past, under APC government, we are able to do it. And I think that message is clear to all of us. And there are a lot of benefits even from now, because the necessity of what has happened is creating a momentum of action. People are inventing. Now we have seen a couple of organizations producing ventilators here in Nigeria. The Nigeria Air Force has produced a ventilator. And I'm sure in future, it means that we can take care of ourselves in this country. Most of the medical consumables have been produced now in Nigeria. Face mask, the overall, what we need. People are, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So we could see that happening. But how do we take advantage of it so that when this is over, we don't go back to what we were doing? We continue from where we are and ensure never in the history of our country would it happen, not in future, that it would be said that only if we have done this, we have the opportunity to do it. And I think our government should do it, and I think we will do it. And the role of the party is to ensure that we continue to mobilize and support the government to be able to do the right thing. That we will continue to do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that, sir.
The second question from the publicity secretary. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, I'd like to ask a question.
Sorry, probably not now. We will come to you. We'll probably come back to you in a minute. Sorry, go on, sir.
Okay, I think it's similar to the question I answered earlier concerning the need to continue to engage more frequently. And I think that there is no way to avoid that. It's something need and we should encourage. And as the public secretary, you can be sure I'll do my
Thank you, sir. We can still hear you. Go on, sir.
Yeah, that's it. We will do the best we can here to ensure the platform, the structure is put in place for frequent engagement.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I believe there was a third question. I think it was relating to COVID-19, which you may have already answered already. So I think we have the answers to those questions already. We also have Professor Alao, who is one of our executives. He's, I believe he has a comment or two Professor Lau. Professor Lau again is one of our pillars here in the United Kingdom. Been there, seen it, done it. Very strong, and also a diaspora champion, always fighting because of Nigerians in the United Kingdom. You have the floor, sir, Prof.
Thanks ever so much, our chairman. Mainly, I would like to thank our Honorable Malam for taking time out to speak to us and to share with us the in-depth information about our noble party, APC. Mainly, we just want in a situation whereby the meeting we have today can be carried over to all the ranking file in the party, in a way we can truly synergize. I mean, we've taken the bull by the horn. With arms of APC UK, which the Diaspora would took us, I hope by the end of the day, they can really take this as much as seriously. Come 2023, it's going to be again in terms of diaspora voting come here to stay, not just another talking shop. I mean, effort has been put, and I believe what can be done. That's it I would like to say at this point in time. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Diaspora
Thank you
voting.
so much.
Diaspora voting yes in 2023. I believe the chairman has just joined. Your Excellency, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, you are welcome to the platform. Thank you so much for making time to join, sir. We had to start due to time constraint and also because of the Ramadan festivities and events. You're welcome to, oh, he's just gone off again. 1 second. Okay. Moving ahead, also we have Ms. Vivian. Vivian has a comment. Ms. Vivian, you have the floor, man. Ms. Vivian, is Ms. Vivian there, please? You have the floor. Okay, moving on quickly, Mr. Agumbiade. Mr. Agumbiade, you have the floor, sir. Please go ahead. Is Mr. Agumbiade still there? Mr. Agumbiade, please go ahead. Check your phone, you may be on mute.
Vivian was on mute before.
Vivian, all right, okay, we're going straight to the youth leader, Dr. Usman Tijani Shehu. This is the APC UK leader, youth leader. Again, one of the executives of APC United Kingdom. Again, a very strong member, been around for a very long time, quite dedicated to the party. And he's been the one who's been looking after the youths and ensuring that we engage the youths. We also, people, they actually talk about the opposition party, but we, the APC, we know we're youth friendly and we usually get the youths involved. And so I'll be yielding the floor now to Dr. Usman Tijani. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols duly observed. Our able leader and Honorable Onilu and my fellow exes and members of the our great party. My questions goes straight to the party, in line with the current situation we are having back home. I know in the diaspora we have many teams who have had worked tremendously to make sure that the President Muhammadu Buhari administration came into power. I'll be glad if the party, I'll be glad to know what the party is doing to synergize with the diaspora APC, especially the in terms of the youth development, in terms of education, research funding to help our teeming youth back home in Nigeria. I'll be glad to know what the party is doing in that capacity. In part, to have some team in youth and to support the federal government in achieving and realizing goals, especially in youth empowerment, health, education, agriculture.
Thank you, sir. We're pressed for time.
Aspects in general.
Youths, yes, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Agumbiade back on the line, sir.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. Agumbiade. Let's take a question, one more question from Mr. Fako. Mr. Fako again is...
I have a question, Mr. Mole, please.
Okay, Mr. Fako next. Mr. Fako, you have the floor. Are you still there?
I'm still there, sir.
Please go ahead, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Go ahead, sir. 30 seconds. Very quick, sir.
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, just want to thank everybody. We're having so much interference. If the people can put their phone. The question I wanted to ask has been asked in the first question. What I just want the publicity, national publicity to note is that we're having a lot of feedback regarding our government, the government of APC. I'd like to know if at all we interface with the presidency. We believing in party supremacy. Is that the government is doing something else and the party is doing something else. And lastly, I want to know what is the latest about the governor of Edo State and our national chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's a very topical question, actually. Obaseki, Governor, His Excellency Obaseki, and the chairman. Thank you so much. We'll take one more question. I think it was from Mr. Agumbiade. Mr. Agumbiade, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. All the protocols duly observed. My question is, I want to know what strategy the party is putting in place for the reconstruction of the economy after this COVID-19, because this is an opportunity for us.
Thank you, sir. We actually, thank you, sir. Malam Larry, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I would apologize. Some of the questions are better answered by the national chairman.
Okay.
But the last question regarding the issue of the economy, I would say that we should be proud of what the government is doing. We are not feeling the effect so much for now because of some of the policies that have been put in place have been issued. Also, you could see clearly that immediately this pandemic got to Nigeria, the president set up two committees. One is the presidential committee on the pandemic COVID-19, and then the other one is the economic recovery committee headed by the vice chairman. The other one is headed by the secretary of the federal government of the federation. So this shows how serious the government holds the issue of the economy. The next step the government took was to quickly review
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, I think we've lost the publicity secretary again, but I think we get the gist of we actually got the gist of that response. I believe he's trying to reconnect. Also, the chairman is also trying to reconnect. Apologies for all these technical glitches, but at least we're actually getting there gradually. So we just give him a minute or two to reconnect. But in the interim, if there's anyone that has a comment,
I can see Mr. Onilu. Maybe he's muted.
All right, okay. Mr. Onilu is back. Okay, yep. He's yes. Yeah, back, sir. Go on, sir.
I was reminding us of the step taken by the president,
yes, sir,
which was to put in place a committee on economic recovery headed by the vice chair president himself. And the second step that was taken was to review the budget in view of the new realities, so that some of the assumptions that informed the budget are no longer realistic, and that has been done. And as I speak to you, a lot of effort is ongoing, interfacing with some of our partners abroad, the Bretton Woods institutions, and the rest, to ensure that we are able to renegotiate some of our commitments, to ensure we don't feel too much pressure immediately we are out of this. And I'm very confident that we would manage and we will stay afloat, and we will be focused, and at the end of the day, we will be able to ward off whatever calamity that normally could have come from this. So I'm not in any way afraid. I know that the government is doing a lot, and a lot is going into it, and then we will come out successfully at the end of the day. But what is important, as I've reiterated, what do we make of this opportunity? The opportunity to look inward, the opportunity to be able to develop our country based on our own reality and meet our own expectations based on our own peculiarities. This is what I think the party should be concerned about, so that when we come out of it, we take full advantage of what this necessity has brought upon us. I don't have any doubt that we are doing the right thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I have Mr. Adewale. Mr. Adewale, with your hands up, with the red curtain behind you. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to recognize the member president and observe all protocol. I would have loved the national chairman to be online while asking this question, because it has to do with forthcoming election in Edo State and in Ondo State. I'm from Ondo State myself, and I will talk more about the Ondo State election. During the last presidential election in Ondo State, we have a very ugly scenario where the APC actually worked against the party. I mean, the whole party in Ondo State then worked against the party. It was just few exceptions and people like us that came from the diaspora that have to fight for the party, and that is why the party was able to have the marginal win.
We're really just the question, sir. Just go straight to the question, sir. Sorry.
The question now is, we know election is coming on Ondo State again. What is the APC generally doing to make sure the party is not going to work against itself this time around? Because from all indication now, if the party is not very much on ground, if the national coordinators of the party are not very much on ground to be in control of things, it's very sure that the party are going to work against itself in Ondo State again, and the party might lose Ondo State if care is not taken. So what's the program of the national body of the party in Ondo State and in Ondo State?
Thank you so much, sir. We will also take one more question from Mr. Badejili. Mr. Badejili, Dr. Badejili, a comment or question, sir? Mr. Badejili is also one of the pillars in the United Kingdom. He's been there since it's actually done it. I think he has a comment. Mr. Badejili, there's so much feedback from your end.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, just go
ahead. Everyone.
Good evening, sir. Just go straight to the point, sir. To the question.
Yeah, I want to, I just want to go straight about what's happening now, this COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria, and what our the citizens are going through. And I want to commend the effort of the federal government and our party, what we've been doing, and what APC UK has been doing, APC UK, and their contribution. So I just want to thank everyone for the contribution towards the pandemic and how we are saving lives in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, that's just my comment. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We will actually yield the floor to Malam Larry Onilu to answer the question regarding the upcoming Ondo elections. Thank you so much, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the person who asked the question, especially concerning Ondo and Edo. You see, we have experiences to learn from, especially from the 2019 election. We know those states that we lost, not because PDP was better than us, not because people didn't want us, not because we lost election, but because certain members of the party took actions that turned out to be injurious to the interests of the collective interests of the party. So we've learned a lot of lessons from that.
I think that was Mr. We can still see him. Okay, I think we've lost our connection again. I'm sure he will reconnect any second from now.
Yeah, please, if you can make him come back on that, because that's very important, sir. If you can make
Yes,
him come back on that
he's actually reconnecting. He's coming back. I'm sure he'll be back. But in the interim, I have Mr. OPPO. Is it OPPO? There's no name. Like it just says OPPO A5S. That's the gentleman in white shirt with the glasses, with the beard. Yes, you just raised up your hand. Yes, yeah, the one waving.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Larry is back. So sorry, we can hear you, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay, so as I was saying, so we wouldn't have any excuse not to respond to the experience we have had, those unpalatable experiences that we had in the past. For Ondo and Edo, we have been engaging with all our members, all the leaders of our parties in those respective states to ensure that when the time comes, we all move together. And if there are issues to resolve, we are already tackling the issues. Don't forget that before the pandemic happened, the president, under the flagship of the president, we just announced a National Reconciliation Committee headed by Baba Akonde.
Yes, that's correct.
Unfortunately, that the committee was to go around the country, and people have submitted a lot of petitions to them, which was part of our step to ensure that whatever issues there are in any state or at any level, we have this high-level committee to listen to people. Because the important thing is for people to have the opportunity for fair hearing.
That's correct.
And when you also have a committee that is credible, and you know you're going to get fair hearing, then it may reduce the kind of acrimony that will lead what we experience in Zamfara and Rivers State, particularly. You know, so we are doing a lot regarding that. We also don't know what this pandemic will mean to the timetable that was released to INEC. We don't know as at yet. But whatever happens in Ondo, in Edo, we shouldn't forgive ourselves if we make the mistake and we do not reflect on the experiences we have had in the past and make sure we do the right thing. And I think the party is responding to that very well.
Thank you so much, sir. We will take Mrs. Ifoma next. I think she has a comment. It's a very brief comment. And this will be probably the last comment. The reason being that we have to be sincere. There's a Ramadan event actually starting around 6. So we've got just 2 more. It's 5:56. So we'll take Mrs. Ifeoma's question.
I've been waiting. I wanted to ask a question. I've been waiting for a while now.
Is that Buki, Miss Buki Taiwo?
Yes.
Oh, please, yes. Like I do. Yes. So we'll take yours, and then we'll take Mrs. Ifeoma. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
I just want to comment on this meeting. I think I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you,
that and I think aside from the COVID-19, I think such meetings should be held sort of like on a regular basis, because it's easier to get everybody together.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to make that clear. But my question is actually on land security in Nigeria. And what I mean by land security is what laws has the government of Nigeria put in place in terms of foreigners buying land? Because I'm not
thank
really
you so much. Sorry, I have to stop you there. What laws have the government put in place in terms of people in diaspora, Nigerians in diaspora? Do you mean Nigerians in diaspora or foreigners?
No, I'm talking about foreigners buying land.
As in, you mean like the Chinese?
Yes.
There's lots of news about, the Chinese coming to acquire land and all that.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Fantastic. Mrs. Ifeoma, please, your comment, please.
Good evening, all, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Your Excellencies who have taken time to attend this video chat. My question is, with in terms of what is going on in the country now with the COVID-19, and we have donors donating funds and food or whatever. I was just wondering if it's possible, rather than if the government can make it or whatever payment into people's their public account, or use this opportunity to register an account for the people who don't have an account or who don't have BVN. That will compel them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think this is coming from the fact that
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Sorry, 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
This is coming from the fact that there were a few comments about people actually bringing cash on the table and cash being handed out physically. We thought it could be better done actually doing it electronically. Malam Larunili, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, briefly on the issue of the foreigners coming in to buy land. I know that the law governing sales and transactions on land in Nigeria, the state government have the powers over land matters, not the federal government. And that's why the governor is the one that issues and signs CFO in respective state. So it may be different from one state to another. And I'm not sure if there's a national approach to that. I'm not conversant with that, because it's something that is more of a residual list of the Constitution, which means it is the state, within the state's purview to handle matters that has to do with land. So the issue of the second question, now I'm trying to recollect.
Physical cash payment to the SIP, the social investment programs, and cash being given out.
Payment. That's a very, You know, it's not as straightforward. It's not as straightforward. But I think what we need to do is to do a bit more of educating the people, especially Nigerians and within and in the diaspora, to understand exactly what is going on. In Nigeria now, the first thing that was done was to respond to the people they call the poorest of the poor. These are the kind of people we all have in our communities that they are not anywhere near banking system, and it is not even possible for them to do it. These are the categories of people, and there's a list called social list, which was drawn up by the World Bank. And that is the list that the Ministry of Disaster Management is using. And it is the community itself, each community would define what it understands to be poverty, and put up names of people within that community in their own poor. There is just no any other means of reaching this category of other than giving them.
At least for now. Okay.
Yes,
Enough
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. People on hand. Is there that we can begin to talk about all of that? But there are different levels of intervention. That is just one. The issue of BVN, for instance, there is a plan to pay money into the account of certain categories of people, not everybody who is in the banking net, but certain people, by the kind of volume of transaction they have in their account over a period of maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months, I don't know, they will be able to determine these are people who need help most. So somebody suggested, for instance, that anybody who is not buying more than 100 naira airtime for his phone over the last 3 months, that person qualifies to be supported. Somebody whose transaction in his bank account is just around 5,000 volume, average, then that kind of person needs. And I think they are making effort now to get the list of all of these people and pay directly into their account to support them. That is beside the food that is taken around the country. But Nigeria, we are talking of about 195, 200 million people. It's a huge logistics nightmare to say you are going to handle all of this. There are other interventions at different levels. The conditional cash transfer, which has started since 2016, the 5,000 naira that has been paid monthly to these categories of people. What the president said in his first national broadcast when pandemic started was to say, pay them for 4 months upfront, which is 20,000. So these people who already were on the payroll under the conditional cash transfer are currently being paid. The people under the Empower policy, about 500,000 of them, and the president now said, go and increase that number. The first time it was increased to 2.5 million. The last time when he was asking his second broadcast, he said, no, add 1 million to that 2.5, make it 3.5 million individuals, so that through the Empower, they can pay all these people. I am aware that that is also being done now. The information is not so much out there, but I can say clearly that the intervention is at different levels and targeting different categories. So the one that has been seen is the one that had to do with cash. But the categories of people that were given cash, there is no other means. They are unbankable. So there's no way you can have them in the banking system. And I can also tell you now that even in Nigeria, as of today, you cannot have physical bank transaction because virtually all the bank, the offices are shut. You can only do anything online. So there are other issues around it that won't make things to just go as smooth as we would have wished. But one thing we should be very, very clear about is that the president is always so much concerned about the welfare of the people. The gesture to pay the salaries of lecturers, which he just announced some few days ago, he just gave that instruction, is out of compassion. Because what are the issues? Okay, all lecturers will be captured under the payment system so that we know who is taking what. And the lecturers have said no to this. Now, even when the president gave instruction a few days ago to say, okay, go ahead and pay them their salary, after nobody should be under any discomfort more than what we're already facing under this COVID-19. Go and pay them their salary. So we sort it out after the pandemic has gone. But they must present their BVN. They said no. Many of them are saying no to BVN. And so you may now take that to mean the president is not responding. How could a lecturer say, I don't want you to use BVN to pay me? BVN identifies you, and then the government is sure that nobody is taking salary from 3 different universities, which is what is common. So we can be sure that the president is doing the best it can do. We can always do more and improve on what we are doing, but I can say clearly that we are doing something very worthy of being commended.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that detailed response, sir. We're over time. Like, I must apologize. We're actually out of time. We have the deputy leader, High Chief Chris, who will take your comment. It's not a question, just a comment, 1 sentence comment, and then we're done. Thank you. High Chief Chris, you have the floor, sir.
I just want to thank everybody that joined. I thank our leader, Prince, for organizing this, Secretary for joining us, and we believe that this is the beginning, and we hope to do this more often. So thank you everybody for your contribution. On behalf of APC UK, we thank you and we look forward to do this more often. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, High Chief Chris, for that closing remark.
Thank you.
And finally, I would like to specially thank the national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. He tried connecting twice, but got cut off for whatever reason. I believe it was due to technical glitches. But again, we'll try and resolve that for the next conference. I also want to specially thank hardworking, ever ready, always available, I must say, always available National Publicity Secretary. Even during the storm, you call him in the morning, afternoon, night, 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., he will respond to you. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We really appreciate your joining us. And we pray that you continue to excel and succeed as the National Public Secretary at the National Secretariat. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And to our distinguished chairpersons. Yes, sir. And to our distinguished chairpersons from Canada, to USA, to Benin Republic. We also have the chairman from Benin Republic here with his APC scarf. We've already discussed your question already, to Bob, to George Alade, to our South African chairman, and all the members of the executives of APC UK, and all members across. We thank you for joining this session, and we pray that we continue to excel, we continue to succeed, and definitely we will definitely overcome this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much for joining this session. Please do stay tuned, and we actually look forward to the next session. Thank you so much.